called Aloha, the Breath of Life. All set? Down on the islands of old Hawaii, there is a spirit in every heart, a loving presence for all creation that they share freely with everyone. We all carry this warmth inside our hearts. Aloha, aloha. We all share in the very breath of life.
It's so good to be back. And for those of you that are here for the first time, I was in Hawaii for 2 weeks. Last Sunday, I was sleeping. Jet lag caught up with me. Phyllis Diller once said, "I want my children to have all the things I couldn't afford. Then I want to move in with them." Today's talk is an Aloha Mother's Day. And before I get into the talk, because so many of you have been asking me about the trip, I'm just going to go through a few of our pictures. The pictures from cell phones really don't transfer onto this very well, so some of the beautiful pictures just didn't show up. But I put together a few. So Dan, if you'd show the first one. And we're talking about the Aloha spirit today. This is Suzanne. This is a place that Val, who used to be a congregant here, she was a secretary, wasn't she, at one time? Yeah. She took us on a tour. These are 2 islands out there. But if you can feel that peace, if you can feel that stillness and that beauty and breathe it in, that is what we received in Hawaii. And the next one, Dan. We were told not to miss this. It's a crater. It's a dead volcano that's over 10,000 feet high, and you usually can't see the crater because it's covered in clouds. It's probably an hour drive up to the top of this, very windy, and you brought coats because when you get up there, it's like wintertime. But as we got near the top, our driver, who was a native who lived in a little village on the way up the mountain, actually, was getting more and more excited. He said, "We're going to see it, we're going to see it, we're going to see it." We didn't know what he was talking about. He said, "We probably won't see the sunset," which is what we went up there for, but we're going to see something else. And what happened was the clouds cleared. This is looking down inside the crater. And there's a phenomenon that occurs only 2 places in the world. It occurs here and in Germany. And it's called the Brocken spectra. And what happens is if the weather is just right and there's enough moisture in the air and the sun is behind you. The next one, Dan. You get to see this rainbow down in the bottom of the crater, and that dot there is my daughter Suzanne. So you see yourself in the rainbow. And it's, again, it only happens 2 places in the world, and we just happen to be there at the right time. And to me, this is the blessing of the whole trip and why I went to Hawaii, because he said very few people get to experience this. The other thing we got to do, the next one, Dan, is because the sun was just right. If you see, that's myself and Suzanne. We are holding the sun in our hand. So this was one of the highlights of our trip. What have I got next here? Oh, the other highlight was, the next picture, Dan, was a kayaking trip we took that was supposed to be easy. 2.5 miles of kayaking and a little trek through the jungle. No, people that kayak said it was at least a level 3. And the two of us, we know how to kayak, but we just don't have much muscle. And we were way behind, so the group was going out of sight. And the guide hung out with us, and finally they brought a boat, and they motored us back up to the group. The other picture that just didn't come out is when we got to where we docked the kayaks, the jungle path was about this big. It was all vines and rocks and dirt and mud. And it went uphill. Fortunately, you had these little wooden walking sticks if you needed one. And then it went downhill. And because a tree had fallen and damaged their path, they had a makeshift one. And they had ropes tied on trees as you went down to hang on to with the pole. Now, this is the person that has all the back problems, too, artificial hips, remember? This body got stronger and stronger. Nothing hurt, nothing bothered me. At the end, we walked over a waterfall and then down further to another one where Suzanne immediately jumped in. And one of our guides, who his staff called Captain America, young man out of the Army in some special force that was just muscle everywhere, climbed up inside the waterfall, and as people swam over, he would reach down and pull them up. And I saw her go up, and I went, I've got to do that. And when I got there, I had, when you have cataract surgery, you have the artificial lens in your eyes. You can't see anything in water. And so I got as close as I could, closed my hand, and put my hand up. And he found my hand and pulled me up. So those were my two highlights. We learned how to make leis. These are the leis we managed to bring back. They're not in great shape, but they came back with us. And the other thing is, the next picture is, Suzanne learned how to hula. I know, she didn't know I was going to put that one. And she did really good, because she's taken dance lessons since she was little, but I tried it. It's really tough on your legs. So that was another one of our highlights. And then we got to visit the Unity Church in Hawaii, Dan. So this is the sign, and it's at the foot of Diamond Head. And inside, Dan, I think you have another picture there. Again, they don't come out good, but the sides are all open. So it's just very Hawaiian looking inside. They have 3 services, and their minister is, if you put the next one up, is Reverend Jack Bomer. I have not met him before. He had just come back from Australia, where he was speaking at Unity churches there. So that's just a tease of some of the things. We heard the word aloha everywhere. And if you've been there, you know. I mean, all the staff, everyone on the ships, on land, in the restaurants, passing people on the streets, wherever you went, you heard that. And we know it means hello and goodbye, but it means so much more. It's the embodiment of unconditional love. So what better day than Mother's Day to talk about unconditional love? So you heard it in B.A.'s song. The real meaning of aloha is to share in the breath of life. To share in the breath of life. So I want you to close your eyes right now and just take a breath. Just breathe and know that as you do that, you are sharing, we are sharing in that breath of life. And isn't that what our birth mothers did for us? You can open your eyes. No matter what relationship we may have with our mother, or what we did have with our mother if she's not here, whether it's wonderful or not so wonderful, maybe something in between, it started, didn't it, with that breath of life. The aloha spirit is what each experience we had in Hawaii brought us closer to. And it's something I found nowhere else I've ever traveled, and I've traveled a lot to many beautiful places. But this spirit that in a way we associate with mothers, is imbued in the people there. And anyone who's lived there for a while, and we found it in Val. She's been there about 4 years now. It's a way of life that springs from their minds and their hearts. It's a deep spiritual sense of oneness with everyone and everything. And we've been studying our spiritual gift of love, and that's exactly what it is. It's a genuine unity, a harmony with all creation. And in the people, it's an overwhelming warmth and generosity. They just can't. We found it everywhere. They can't do enough. Kindness, hospitality, willingness to help. And it's given without restraint and without an ulterior motive. Not looking for anything back. Hawaiians emote the spiritual energy of Aloha every day whenever they say Aloha. It's so much more than a word. We've been working with the 12 powers in unity, our 12 gifts within us. And so far we've done faith, which is the ability to say yes to God. They say yes to God every day. To draw our good from the invisible to the visible. You can't help but do that in Hawaii. It's all around us. The second power we did was strength, our ability to be still. You saw that picture of Suzanne. You just drop into that stillness because of the nature of the place. It's our ability to be patient, tolerant, steadfast, balanced. We see that in all the Hawaiian people that live there. It's the power of wisdom and judgment. Our ability to allow the divine to flow through us. How can you not? And in that, when we allow that divine, we discern, we evaluate, we make our decisions from that. And the last power we've worked with is love. The aloha to know oneness with all. That there's only good for all. It sounds a lot like the Aloha spirit, doesn't it? Yeah. We have our Tuesday morning class. It's our 12 spiritual gifts from God. And we probably spend at least a month on each gift as we work through it. And we end each one. The book has a few scriptures at the end. And so then we split into groups and we take a scripture and we do a metaphysical interpretation of it, and each group does a presentation. They have so much fun with this. And one of the words in one of the presentations was harmony. And it said, it came from the revealing word in unity. Harmony, everything is governed by fixed law, and harmony is its expression. Everything is governed by fixed law, and harmony is its expression. When we are centered in external, we lose sight, we break the connection with spirit, and we lose harmony with divine law. So, if things aren't going right in my life, I've broken that connection. And see, in Hawaii, they live in that connection. They live in it all the time. They are the nicest, kindest, most relaxed, laid-back people I've ever met. And they live in that harmony. And how many of you have been to Hawaii? Oh, wow. So you know what I'm talking about. You're a part of it. What I found was long lines, but no matter how long the lines were, Hawaiian time, I found, is really slower than Mexican time. I mean, but no matter, you got up there, and the people behind the counters were smiling, happy, talking to each other. They had all day. We found a place in Waikiki called Teddy's Bigger Burger. In fact, Val, who's been there? Yeah, some of you have been there. Okay. And I went down. Our hotel was nearby, so I went down just to get breakfast to take back to our room. There was me and another couple in there. Probably 30 minutes at least to get breakfast. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But what's great is I was by then, it was the end of our trip. I was chilled. The couple next to me, a young couple, they had parrots, white parrots, on their shoulders, on their heads. And so we started chatting. They'd been there a year, and she had a degree in the study of birds, and she couldn't find a job. So she was taking people on tours with the bird life of the island. And he couldn't find a job, so he was becoming a photographer, taking pictures of people. We just had a great chat while we waited for breakfast. It took me 2 weeks to get to there. And then it showed up in our guide as we couldn't keep up in the kayak. He was just a local. We're paddling like crazy. He's there with his legs up. He's not paddling. He's keeping up with us. But again, it wasn't bothering him. He was just chilling. I lost my purse in the airport. And, a man sat on it, just brought it up to the counter, and they paged me, and I went to get it. Again, just that laid back. And then Val's house. Oh, my gosh. This is such a Hawaiian house. There's sand everywhere. There's everything everywhere, and it doesn't bother anyone. She put us up. She let us take her new electric car. Suzanne said she wants one now. She just loved driving it around. She gave us tours of the island. She had a friend, a co-worker, whose wife was in her first pregnancy having complications, just dropped everything, ran over there. I got to see that hospitality, that warmth in the way they lived their life. It's just all about hanging loose and no worries. So, you got it, Andrew. Who knows it? Because I have trouble with it. Okay, what's it called? Shaka. Yeah. Do you know the story of where it came from? So the story goes that there was this old man who dynamited the reefs to catch fish, and he did it all the time. He was really good at it. But one day he blew his hand up, and he only had his pinky and his thumb left. So when the locals saw him and waved, he'd wave back, but he only had the pinky and the thumb to wave with. So they started waving back the same way. And it became known as Shaka because he was so shocked that he blew his hand off after all those years of fishing. So I had such a hard time learning that Val's little daughter, do you have that picture, Dan? And her name is Leilani. Isn't she a sweetie? Look at her, if you can see her face. She's trying to teach me how to do it. And when we were in Unity of Hawaii, one of their congregants was Famous Amos. Do you remember Famous Amos, the cookie guy? Well, he was there. We had a picture taken. It just doesn't show good up there. But we're doing this, and he's coming over fixing my hand because I still wasn't doing it right. In the Bible, manna, M-A-N-N-A, is divine substance everywhere present. In Hawaii, mana, M-A-N-A, is spiritual energy that diffuses every aspect of the Hawaiian world. Its expression is found in every human, every rock, every bird, every flower, every god. The gods are called Akua. And the Hawaiians have thousands of gods. But since it's Mother's Day, we're going to talk about a goddess. And they got thousands of goddesses as well. They've got the Earth Mother, goddess of fertility, goddess of the moon, mountains, rain, snow, hula. But the one I heard about and paid most attention to was Pele, the goddess of the volcano. Some of you guys know this story. She's creator of the islands. And she is creator and destroyer because she governs the flow of the lava. Now, we were all set to jump in a helicopter and fly over the lava. That was going to be my other biggie. But the rain was so bad, they canceled the weather, and they won't go if it's not safe. But anyway, Pele destroys and creates because of the lava. And since 1983, 100 structures have been destroyed because of the lava. But listen to this, 70 acres have been created as the lava falls down. It's the one island that continues to grow. The Big Island continues to grow. I loved the Big Island. I loved Kona. I could live there because it's quieter. I said, so why don't people live here? And they went, duh. A live volcano here. Pele is known to reveal herself throughout the islands. They say if you see a beautiful woman with long flowing hair or an older woman with long white hair, that you have to greet her with aloha and you have to help her. So there's stories told about drivers who pick up an old woman dressed in white. And as they're driving, they look in the rearview mirror, and there's nobody there. And then there's the other story of her images that mysteriously appear in photographs of eruptions. And those who live on the islands, no matter their religion, Catholic, Buddhist, Shinto, speak very respectfully of her. What I found is the Hawaiian beliefs, the Hawaiian cultures are very real to the Hawaiians. And oh my gosh, the stories we had about taking any of that black stuff home with us. You just don't do it. I heard about another woman. It's Mother's Day, so I'm going to mention a couple women here in Hawaii. And I'm probably, if you know her name, you can help me with it. Her Queen Ka'aumanu. And she was one of the most powerful women in Hawaii history. So, anybody else watch Hawaii Five-0 besides me? Okay. And that picture of I got to look at it, it said, King Kamehameha? King Kamehameha? Well, I drove everybody crazy. I have to have my picture taken in front of that statue. I have to. So what I found out when I looked into him was that Queen Ka'aumanu, if anyone knows how to say it, help me, was his favorite wife. She was one of 21. He married her when she was 10 and he was 30. So, of course, he died before her. And when he died, she became the most powerful figure in the islands. And she was the person responsible for transforming the foundations of Hawaii and for ushering in a new era. So you could almost say she's the mother of Hawaii today. So now, those of you that have been there are going to help me with this. We're going to learn how to say mother in Hawaiian. Dan, do you have that? Okay, who knows it? Louder? Okay. Makuahine. Okay, all together. Makuahine, mother. Now, how about Happy Mother's Day? Dan, you got the next one? Okay, who's got this one? Let me see, I spelled it out here. It's Ho'ulila. Ha'ulila. Ha'ulila. Okay, so somebody that's got it, say it loud and put it all together. Okay, come on, let's do it together. Get on your mic there, B.A., so he can hear you.
Haulila Makuahina.
Okay, let's do it.
Haulila Makuahina.
Okay, good job. You passed. You can go. So today we say thank you to all the mothers, and that's one word I learned how to say. Mahalo. Thank you, mothers. And for a minute, we know that the feelings evoked on Mother's Day aren't the same for all of us, are they? My mother made her transition 2 years ago in April. She was 94. And the interesting thing is she's just been popping up in the family. We've all just been thinking about her a lot in the last few weeks. She was not a Hallmark mother, even close. She did it her way. But I realize now that she was the force, she was the strength that bound our family together. And I'm starting to recognize a lot of her traits in me. And I'm glad I have them because it's the strength in me. And that's what she brought, was that strength. So some of you have loving, caring relationships with your moms. Others, maybe not so much, right? And some may never have known their mother or lost their mother at an early age. Some of you may be adopted or raised by a step or foster mother. Some of you may have had a nurturing figure who stood in that place. Maybe a single dad, a big brother or a big sister, an aunt or an uncle, a grandparent, a teacher, a coach. Someone that had your back. So birth mother or mother figure, we know that they were doing their best with the knowledge and resources they had to take that place for you. So as we honor mothers today in all the ways they showed up in our lives, perfect and imperfect. Because we would not be who we are today without them. Remember that, however they showed up, great or not so great. If you are a mother, or if you fill the place of a birth mother, know this. Know that the love you express or withhold is a life-changing influence that impacts a child for the rest of their life. That's how powerful that love is. Male or female, we are meant to express God's love, to live the Aloha spirit. So as soon as I finish talking, we're going to be passing out white carnations to everyone. And the mothers that are here, please receive it as we honor you today. And the rest of you, male or female, receive one in honor of the mother in your life. This Mother's Day, call your mother if she's still alive. Spend time with her if you can. And if she's no longer here, remember that prayer is the language of spirit. It's not limited by time or space. So spend some time with her in the silence, in prayer. Hold her in that space. Starting this Mother's Day, you are going to practice, got it, Dan? You are going to start practicing Aloha. You are going to start living the spirit of Aloha. And we're all going to do what? Hang loose. God bless you. Happy Mother's Day.